Hey Virgo, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a love reading, energy check-in for you Virgo. Looking at what is present moment energy and potential future moment energy. Okay, so let's see. The strongest messages, Virgo, are always going to come through. So if it doesn't resonate, don't make it fit. Don't make it your story. Okay, so for the sign of Virgo, strong placement, Spirit, please come into this reading, bless this reading, make this your message only. Messages of love and guidance for Virgo. All negative energy must leave the space now. All non-consensual access is now purged and sealed for Virgo. Okay, let's see, Virgo. Okay, only jumpers, please, and thank you. Somebody could be observing you here, Virgo, or you could be observing someone, a situation, but there's gathering of more information here. It's an innocent action, it's a small action, it's mental capacity, mental thinking, so it's not really physical action yet, but there is curiosity here, there is something about gaining insight about another person. This could also be a person or cross-watcher, spying on you here, Virgo. But it definitely looks like the action or the intent to learn more about you by going through your socials, by looking at your status updates if they have access to your phone number. But it's observing, gaining information, trying to suss out the kind of person that you are by observing you from a distance, which is dangerous because nobody ever posts reality on socials, right? So what we see is not always the reality, but there's a shyness here. So someone is, just keeping their distance, gathering information. It's a fine balance, I think, with this person or with you, Virgo. It's a fine balance between reaching out and acting on curiosity versus the fear of falling off the tightrope, because she's like walking a fine line here and balancing on that. But listening to information. What else for Virgo, please and thank you? Jumpers only. Queen of Cups energy. So I feel like someone's appreciating your nurturing nature. I don't know if you've been particularly caring or nurturing towards someone recently, but they can sense your motherly nature, your nurturing nature. You don't have to be female, but it's an energy of nurturing. It's an energy of emotional maturity, emotional availability, an energy of lived experience is what I am feeling or sensing. They appreciate your advice. They appreciate how you approach things. They appreciate your emotional maturity in situations. They appreciate how you are able to contain your emotion or manage emotion without letting it take hold of you or get the best of you. This could also be vice versa. This could be someone you are dealing with that, you are appreciative of. They seem to hold emotional space for you in a way. Card of Cancer, someone that also is very nurturing towards family or family oriented, cares a lot about the family, wants the family to succeed, looks after everyone in the family, very giving energy. Very giving energy. You could be a single mom as well. I just heard that, you know, someone is appreciating the effort that you put into being a single mom, the attention and the love and the quality time that you give to your child or your children, the self-sacrifice sometimes, which isn't always a good thing, but I mean, for your kids, right? I mean, you can't tell a mom not to sacrifice, you know, a little bit of what she's wanting because her kids need to benefit in some way. Even relationship, especially if you are a single mom here and you have kids, it's a whole other dynamic when it comes to relationships, because anyone that you bring into your space needs to be someone that is compatible with the kids as well. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So it's the energy of maybe considering, and maybe that's why the observation, maybe that's why, you know, just remaining in curiosity, because if you are a single mom or if you have been single for a long time, there's a very cautious energy and a slow moving energy about who you allow into your space, Virgo. You don't just allow anyone into your space. For those that I'm reading for and this message is resonating for, there's a caution around just involving or allowing anyone into your bubble. Healing, and maybe it's because you are still healing from a situation. You don't want to rush into something new. This is the card after heartbreak. So it is about integrating the heartbreak, resolving, working with the heartbreak, allowing the release, not rushing towards any distractions. I think you are aware that that doesn't work, Virgo, that just distraction after heartbreak is just burying the heartbreak and not necessarily working through it or understanding, you know, why there is heartbreak, if there was a failed relationship, you know, what was the reason behind it, what was the cause. It's connecting the dots that you are doing now. It's almost like you are reconciling relationship and nesting in a way, Virgo, and you know, it's an embryonic position that she's in, so it's resetting, rewiring, revisiting your role in relationship, your the way that you show up, the way that you communicate, the way that you love. And before going into anything serious, before starting a new relationship again, it's about making sure that you are in the right space and that you are ready to give fully to someone, emotionally, physically, mentally. I do feel that for some of you that are already in relationship, this could be about whether to take the relationship to the next level. It feels like there are some realizations that you're having about the relationship. You know, is it something you would like to continue? Is it something that you would maybe want to walk away from? I don't know why I'm getting this for some of you, because you know, there could have been a watershed moment where you are realizing, and maybe this is the heartbreak, is where you're realizing there's a level of incompatibility, or you're looking for something different, you're looking for something more maybe that this person isn't able to give, or that you aren't able to give right now. So it's processing that as well for those of you that are in relationship. And also considering, if you are in relationship, looking at the pros and cons and the emotional consequences of making a decision, you know, either way. Relying maybe on your friends, Virgo. 3 of Cups is about friendship circles. It's about socializing. It's also about reunion and reconciliation, and about arranging something social here. But keeping it as a light energy. There could be people that you are leaning on right now for advice in the situation, or you could just be enjoying, singledom, enjoying hanging out with your friends, enjoying having fun, enjoying just being in your own energy and the freedom there is in that, Virgo. You could be, a couple of single friends that hold each other in hope if you are looking for love. I mean, who isn't really looking for love, or at least partnership and companionship, right? Um, Not being alone all the time. And I do understand that kind of loneliness, even though you might not want a relationship, maybe just wanting companionship or some level of partnership where you don't feel completely isolated, where there's someone that you are able to lean on in times of need or when you need support. So the energy of love is not just about romantic relationship, Virgo, but it's also about friendships. It's about anyone that we share love with, family, friends, um, even colleagues in some cases. And it's about leaning on that energy and recognizing that, a romantic relationship is not the only source of the energy of love that we can tap into. That love is actually all around us and everywhere, and we can replenish our soul, replenish our emotional needs through other relationships as well, through other connections, even spending quality time with our children. So something is shifting here, changing for you, Virgo. We have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a card of Sagittarius. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, but it is about a newfound sense of freedom, a new chapter. Something new is beginning here for you, Virgo. You are maybe wanting to explore a bit more. I am seeing travel for some of you. Um, you've gotten to this point of realization that, it's not about sitting around and waiting for someone or going out and looking for that person. It's really just about enjoying life, every moment of life, traveling, doing the things that you would like to do. And then, if this person shows up, they fit into your world, and you kind of fit into theirs. It's not like you are actively seeking something and then self-sacrificing to fit into someone else's world in order to capture a relationship. There's something about releasing that. There's something about having understood that isn't necessarily sustainable, and you are looking to enjoy your life. And if someone comes along, great. But if they don't, that's also okay for now. But I do get the sense that you are not really actively searching for love right now, Virgo. King of Wands, charming energy. You could be meeting someone. King of Wands is Leo energy as well. It's also about courage. So this could be about your own courage, lighting the flame of courage again, maybe after a breakup or a relationship that didn't work out, where you were left healing or still healing from that. This also could be about courage to make a decision about an existing relationship. There's something here about strength and courage, because that's the energy of Leo. It's about standing firm in alignment with what it is that you are looking for, standing firm in alignment with um, reciprocity and whether you are receiving that, standing firm in alignment with yourself in such a way that you're not just going to settle or accept any kind of relationship just because, just to ease or comfort the loneliness, because that is sometimes worse. And you can also be lonely in relationship. Loneliness doesn't necessarily exist only in a single living situation. There can also be loneliness in relationship. So it's about wanting something that matches your energy and something that you don't have to compromise and settle for. And it's being confident in that. I can, feel this quiet confidence within you, Virgo. And people can sense this energy as well. You could also be meeting someone very magnetic, Leo energy. But you want, in the bottom of the deck, you want someone that's on the same page as you. Someone that is as practical as you, someone that you can plan a future with, because Virgos, you do like to plan, you do like to vision board. This is the vision board card of the tarot. It's about being on the same page. It's about co-creating something together in a very practical, down-to-earth way, in a material way, something that is realistic, not airy-fairy, not bathed in illusion, not bathed in dopamine or the excitement of falling in love, but something that feels grounded. Behind that was the Ten of Pentacles energy, which is a grounded, stable, committed relationship. And that's the energy you're wanting to bring in, Virgo. Otherwise, I think there's an energy of maybe being tired of playing the field, or tired of frivolous relationships, tired of temporary situationships as well, and wanting something more solid and stable, because that is your energy, Virgo, as an earth sign. But also, Virgo energy is very much about what is practical, what makes sense. And if you're not alone, if you're answering for children as well, then also what makes sense for them, for the whole family. And I just saw the Three of Pentacles energy again, so that's confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. Let's see what else for you, Virgo. Spirit, what is coming towards Virgo? What is coming towards Virgo? Messages of guidance for the next or the near future. Only jumpers, please, and thank you. There could be some healing, from heartbreak here, because this is the energy of regret, the energy of missing, the energy of having lost something. And maybe you're not ready yet to turn around and start something new, Virgo. So for some of you, this could be about grieving something that has gone before you can move into something new. Card of Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. And it's important for this grieving process to take place. It's important to allow the grieving and to allow the healing. Too often it feels too uncomfortable, and it can feel like we are wallowing. And yes, there is an energy of wallowing if we spend too much time in this energy. But this is a minor arcana, so it just feels like there are moments, Virgo, and it's not every day. But there are moments where you have this pang of loss, or this feeling of missing something, this feeling that something is missing, the longing for partnership, and maybe also the regret of past partnerships, or the regret of losing someone here. This could also be your person regretting something here, Virgo, but it's an emotional energy. It's about spilt emotion. It's about energy leaking. Um, and it's about a reverence for that, a reverence for past relationships, a reverence for the heartbreak, and acknowledging it and seeing it as a gift or as a lesson somehow, and integrating that and sitting with it for a little while. Allowing that emotion to come up when it does and not judging it. But Scorpio energy can also be a little bit, what's the word, intense in that way. You know, you can stay there for a bit too long. You know, when you put on the heartbreak playlist or the R&B soul music and open up a bottle of wine, I don't know, whatever your poison is, your vice or your distraction. Maybe it's just music and a cup of tea, but it's that energy of, you know, crying and missing and wanting to be in this energy. And but I don't sense that that is what is coming through with this card. I feel like it's momentary feelings of this loss that you are acknowledging, Virgo. There's a change happening here. You know, also the energy of heartbreak can become, or being in this energy can become tiring. You know, there comes a point where it is tiring and it no longer feels healthy to do that, and you will know when that is, Virgo. Juggling. You may be very busy at the moment. You may be focusing on a lot of things. You could be responsible for a lot and juggling a lot of energy. And this is why you could be just considering whether you have the time and the attention for a relationship or the type of relationship that you are looking for, Virgo. You also do recognize and appreciate that while your emotions are still turbulent and while you are still, you know, integrating a lot of emotional loss or experience in your own field, that it's not the right time to bring someone else's energy into that. Because the soup can become, it can spoil the soup, it can spoil the cooking of what's going on here, and confuse what is your emotion versus what the other person's emotion is, and confuse what your emotion towards this person is versus what is still residue or lingering from previous situations. So you want a clean slate, is what I'm feeling. You want a clean slate before you begin again. Page of Cups, and something small. You know, this could be an offer, a small message. This could also be an apology. It feels like there are little apologies you are making. I don't know why I saw that. You know, in AA, and I'm not saying, you know, this literally, you don't have to be in AA, but when you go back and when you are reconciling and do as part of your healing, it's going back and apologizing physically, sometimes not physically, to people that you may have affected or harmed or hurt in any way when you were under the influence. And it feels like you are doing an emotional audit of where you might have hurt someone or said something, and just mentally or energetically apologizing to this person, because we can't always physically reach the people that we have known in the past. But it feels like you are doing this work. I don't know if it's like a review that you are doing right now. That's for some of you. This could also be an offer of like a small offer of a gesture, a small gesture, like, will you be my Valentine? kind of gesture. It's an innocent gesture because it's page energy, so it feels like it's new, it feels like it's fresh. It feels like there's still some excitement and nervousness around this, like when you're about to ask someone out for the first time, and there's a worry about rejection, there's a worry about whether you're going to mess up the words. If you're texting, how are you going to phrase this? How are you going to say this? So there's that energy as well. And with Valentine's Day coming up, this could be a potential Valentine coming in for you, or you thinking about approaching someone, but in a very light-hearted way, Virgo, like nothing serious. You're taking your time here because there is definitely the energy of, or the fear of rejection for some reason. For some of you, this is the card of being left out in the cold, the card of abandonment, but not necessarily always abandonment. It could also be a one-sided relationship where the effort, the physical effort and energy that you're putting in was not reciprocated. So again, you are looking for balance here, Virgo. You are not wanting to settle for anything, and especially not for something that makes you feel left out in the cold. This could also be a ghosting energy, someone that doesn't communicate openly, or you're left hanging, you're left on blue tick. You don't want to play or mess around with that energy. You don't want to give any attention to that kind of energy anymore. You want something that is grounded. For some of you, there is a relationship that you are pondering about, or wondering, if there is potential to take this to the next level, or should you cut your losses and stay single, or find what it is you are looking for. There's an energy of not wanting to settle, a strong energy of not wanting to settle, because it feels like there's a lot of investment has been put into a certain situation, and it hasn't been yielding the outcomes that you thought it would, or maybe your idea of what you want in a relationship has changed. Maybe for your person as well, the idea of what they want has changed, and so there's an energy of, does this still make sense for both of you? Does this still make sense as a relationship? Does the third energy of relationship make sense now that we are both in different places and want different things? I do feel that there's some kind of a standstill or a crossroads that has been reached here, and a decision needs to be made on whether to continue or to move on for some of you. For the single Virgos, this is about patience. It's also about being tired of sitting and waiting around. And that's why I got the energy shifting, that you want to start enjoying your life now, and no longer be focusing your energy on who's coming in, who's not coming in, are you ever going to be in a relationship or not, but enjoying your life and not just sitting and waiting around. The energy of the Queen of Wands is here, so I feel like your energy is quite magnetic right now, Virgo, because of this healing you are doing, because of the energy that you are embodying right now. People can sense the shift, people can sense this energy. It's like you are magnetizing what it is that you want towards you, because you're working through your own subconscious fears and what it is that you want, and being very clear about what it is that you want, and also following that through with solid action. So not just thinking it, not just saying it, but actually embodying that energy, that not settling, standing in your power, embracing your creativity, embracing your gifts as well. that is your magnetism that's starting to shine right now. So if you are, even if you are single right now, Virgo, this is a beautiful energy to embody and to hold, because it brings forth creativity, it brings forth abundance, it brings forth magnetism and excitement and exploration of new things. And also, you know, as we are doing these things for ourselves, that's when a new partner then usually comes in. It's funny how that happens. It's when you're not looking, actively looking, but focusing on you, focusing on what brings you happiness, not self-sacrificing, and then you magnetize towards you what is meant for you. So this looks amazing, Virgo. I hope this message resonated. If it did, please leave me a comment. I'd love to read your comments. And if you'd like a deep dive, if there's a personal situation you want a deep dive into, my details are in the description box below. Otherwise, I'm sending you so much love. This was a beautiful reading, Virgo. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Until next time.